that comes to mind, but generally this looks like JDG are going for a I don't want to say it's a slow composition, but outside of mid lane,
But at the same time, I've had to play my fair share of AD carry and solo queue and scrims. I've seen what it's like, and sometimes you just want to switch up the lane assignment just so you can get more farm.
Or that this fight. I mean, he's not going to be able to TP anyways. This is just going to be a 4-on-4.
Yep. 4-on-4, and everything matters about this banana bush here. Whoever has control of this banana bush is going to get these grubs here.
Oh, there's a Talia wall. It's going to bar them into the pit. Bullet Time's going to rip onto 3 members. The push from the Vault Breaker and the cease and desist makes a kill here for for OMG. Starry is going to start to rip across the rest of the team. Junji is going to let the ultimate fly, and nothing is gained from this from JDG. They'll grab 2.
Yup, that was all Moham, and we have Juhan in a perfect position to catch out Xiaoshu here. Really good ultimate buffer, and that's going to counteract the dive entirely. You love to see it.
Moham! He's just caught out trying to move into the topside jungle. All right.
Style down here.
Vampire, no flash. And there's a hell of a lot of ability still left here for OMG, but they corral themselves back towards the river ramp on red side. And they're going to push themselves back into the jungle pit. There it is. There's a cease and desist from Juhan. There is a Talia Weaver's Wall riding Haichao with a Grim Deliverance. Will not save the jungle of JDG. Junji is going to fall first. Juhan is going to fall second. And Starry dies as well. There's a revive available here for Xiaoshu, but it's not going to matter anymore. JDG, they're the ones that win the dragon on these item spikes.
Yeah, JDG completely taking over in that fight. Looks like Gala's full hit points was completely able to just dish out the back right now. JDG gonna start up this Herald, and I do not think you can give this as OMG. This is an extremely powerful objective. Moham being chunked out.
Moham's just dead. Grim Deliverance is used. It's a little late, but it doesn't matter. Xiaoshu will have the Grim Determination ready to make sure that he's alive. Cultivation, that's just it. He's forcing Harry out of this fight. Doesn't even need Mega Gnar. Who cares? Haichao is sitting in bottom lane. He TPs into mid, and by that time that it happens, the Herald's already gone. JDG have already won the fight and taken their gold.
And this is the LPL Craziest Art game in the Demacia Cup here, because it looked to me that OMG just had everything they could have possibly asked for. At the, what was that, like 8 minutes ago? They were in a completely prime spot, man. Yeah, they were. The game was in the palm of their hands, and then all of a sudden, play after play after play is just going JDG's way, and it's completely flipping the script here. JDG has this one in the bag as long as they can continue this pace.
Juhan, what do we do? Okay, that's another kill over to Xiaoshu. Haichao's going to try and throw some of these rocks while Hongq takes another top turret. You can see that OMG are starting to struggle here in this mid game. There's, we're dying on side lanes again. We are getting picked out so that they can have setup with this Talia and this Gnar. There's another Grim Deliverance.
He's going to need that cultivation of war.
We have the revive. He's out. Okay.
Yeah, he is.
He'll drop turret aggro.
Yeah, and this is what I was referring to in the pick ban phase, man. Hongq being engaged on by Harry. Looks like he might go down here. Does Harry survive this?
Yeah.
He absolutely does. Harry with the solo bolo onto Hongq there. Did not see that one coming off.
Hey, Harry's Gnar so far in Demacia Cup has been fearful, and he is doing at least enough to keep himself relevant. Unfortunately for him, he presses tab and he's going, why is this enemy's a hen 3-0-2 after all the good work I put? OMG, now it's kind of, okay, what can my solos do? Because we've seen some okay stuff from Haichao. Maybe we can try to loop in Starry here as our star AD carry for the team, but feels like everything is starting to slip in terms of just the cleanliness of play and generally the setup around these objectives.
Yeah, and that being said, that was very reminiscent of the series last night. Just seeing Hongq have these quite uncharacteristic deaths, if I may say, just dying out on his lonesome for no good reason. And those are the kind of things that can have a trickle-down effect into this game. JDG is in position to secure this third Drake right now. I can't imagine as OMG are just going to give this willingly, so we might have a scrap on our hands here. Rift Herald has been used and driven, so that's not going to be a combat tool for JDG here. Kind of just using that as a ploy to distract them from the Drake, and that's going to put them on sole point here. JDG has this game on a really good trajectory right now.
I have an amazing trade
to a
deal.
slight degree doesn't mean that that's reflected in the inventories. So I think this
Oh.
game is on even footing right now.
Yeah, but they have no vision in this pit right now. Honkyu gets a bit of damage down onto Moham. Xiaoxiu gets spotted on the flank, but they're going to have to worry about so much. Do we go for Otacon? Do we squeeze onto Zehen? 3,000 and ticking. Oh, the Wukong gets knocked out, and it's
That was a
taken
clone.
by Vampire! That's that unsealed spellbook, giving him so much value. Grim Determination comes down. Zehen's going to try to follow up. I mean, look, this is Gala just letting it loose. Bullet time, just as an exit measure. OMG, they don't even... a lot about Hai Chao in that time before. He has a gold advantage to himself. Starry's just going to use his Bloodthirster to lifesteal himself back up. Xiaoshu squeezes them on one side. They've spotted Juhan. That is the cease and desist onto Honkyu. Can they find him? No. He flashes over the wall. Xiaoshu on this Zehen is putting pressure on the enemy AD carry. And there's a fight in the pit. Who's going to get the smite? It's Junjia. Who rings true? Cyclone's going to knock up a few members. Harry, there he goes, the Gnar ultimate. But it's all for what? JDG are going to win this fight with 3 kills to 0. And they'll grab themselves the Mountain Soul with Baron spawning up in a few seconds.
Yeah, and Junja is smurfing pretty hard this game. It's not reflected that much in the scoreboard, but if you're seeing what I'm seeing, he is just performing across the board. Ever since that cheeky invade at level 2, he's kind of just had Juhan's number this game, and it almost makes you wonder if you're OMG and this game just kind of ends in the next few minutes here.
Bit more susceptible early on, and now Baron for JDG and a Mountain Soul. OMG were already kind of struggling to find kills, mostly onto the 2 supports who don't have Aftershock. Now the Mountain Soul with double Mountain Dragon and a Baron. It's gonna...
And Zehen.
And Zehen. Things are not going to be looking very pretty for them, and this is the JDG we've been waiting to see all tournament long.
Yeah, we are finally seeing JDG come in as some sort of form here. You know, they're doing really well for themselves. Honkyu has been doing all right on the other hand. I do think Hai Chao has been performing a bit better this game. Unfortunately for him, his team cannot say the same. With that being said, JDG is doing very well here. The Weaver's Wall comes in.
Nope, not going to find too much now. They're trying to force on the Junjia, but that's an exhaust. That's to try to get the knock-up onto Hai Chao. They get him. There it is. Gala with the laser just barely tickles the enemy in mid laner. And they're just fighting in the pit. They're fighting in a chokehold. This is exactly where JDG want to find themselves. A triple kill for Gala. And yeah, we traded out our jungler, but now we're going to be able to have the big purple worm take down the rest of these structures.
Yeah, and that's going to be the ace for JDG. They had the Mountain Soul. They had the Baron buff. If you're having a fight on even remotely even terms there's just no way you're winning that. You see Gala with the 1k bounty, Xiaoshu with the 1k bounty, you know, 3 items for this Yunara, and they're going to go ahead and close this game out right here on the back of that ace.
That's game 1 going over to Jin Dong Gaming. A best of 3 still left for us here in OMG, so a lot left on the table to provide. Whether or not this will be a series victories on, maybe it's going to involve some early ganks from Juhan visiting Honkyu. We talked about it as a potential strategy here. But I think as the game goes forward, as the clock continues to wind...
But yeah, that's just to be expected. That's par for the course. Things might take a turn for the worse for OMG if these recalls go up, but Vampire just stepping way too far.
Wait, they may have baited them in here. It's going to be Vampire who's going to be on 150 HP. They get the flash immediately out from Starry. Moham uses his heal, but it's not going to be enough. Starry's going to go down first blood to Junjia.
Yeah, it looked like Vampire was just completely griefing there. His HP was getting... We were able to trade more effectively and be a lot stronger. So this could be something here, though.
Junjia walks into his bot side jungle, thinks
so
it is
dead.
safe. It is not. It's Hai Chao. It's Juhan, and is the first kill here for OMG. And has ultimate. Usually this is around the time you would want to be playing around this objective. Junjia's here's first as well. Juhan's going to probably just have to flash over this wall. Wind becomes lightning. Wind becomes a death here. Barely surviving. Xiaoshu's going to flash forward alongside Vampire. That'll be Juhan going down. A flash from Moham also secures.
Zhao's going to be able to have just as much XP and gold as him. So I don't know if I like that out of Juhan. Seems to me a bit of a mistake. Luckily, the Hextech Drake is a very good one to start the match off with here. So that will...
Seems like there's a skirmish. It feels like OMG want to try to find something here. Whether that's the public execution or even pulling over Moham. You have, it is a Xin Zhao and an Alistar, and you still have Subjugate. I feel like this is an angle here. John's going to put down the pillar. Oh, they knock him away? That is a Crescent Guard to try to save Junjia, but it's not enough. A kill now going over. Can they find a little bit more? Moham and the rest of this team, they're going to dogpile onto Xiaoshu. Dominus popped. Engage onto Moham.
What?
One more kill. There it is. He gets it, and he gets all of that heal from the Ruthless Predator. Gala lets the piercing arrow fly. OMG taken down, but Haichao has now moved over to this one. Haichao is going to finish off this fight. It is finally OMG acting with some level of aggression, but JDG are able to at least take some more off the map, and they'll have Hongq forcing a teleport from Moham.
And Junja just gets completely picked off there, followed up with the public execution. Harry.
I'm more so surprised that we didn't actually get a further movement from the rest of maybe JDG, but I know Gala definitely want to hit that mid-wave a little bit more. Oh, there's another fight in picture-in-picture. We got Dragon spawning soon.
Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty giga.
I mean, this is as good as it's going to get, right? You have one item spikes on a couple of your champions. You're about a minute and a half ahead of your Rod of Ages. Juhan's going to go top lane. There's Haichao with this Realm Warp. A teleport to be matched by Hongq, but is it enough? Can Xiaoshu live there? Ruthless Predator gets him a little bit of a heal. Now the public execution on a Hongq. Can him and Vampire really turn this fight? Junja's right behind them, but they're buying so much time and wasting JDG's. Teleports were used for that play, but now OMG are the ones that get to move into this Herald.
Yeah, at first I thought they might have over-indexed into killing this Renekton, but it's just definitely not the case. JDG doesn't have many tools here. Junja goes in.
Oh, Junja, he has flash, right? Like, there we go. He's going to be able to kill Juhan. There's the ultimate as well from Gala. Keeps Haichao away. Harry and the rest of Moham trying to make something happen on this side of the fight. Starry gets a kill. This could be OMG's fight finally to find access. Xiaoshu will teleport in. Haichao has no way of walking into this fight, and now it's up to Gala.
There, just because he's got this gold lead doesn't really mean it's actualized in his inventory just yet, as JDG start up this Herald, and it doesn't look like OMG's going to have a contest.
Looks like they instead want to try to cover for this top lane wave, make sure that Haichao gets his gold, clears this ward. First turret, or a turret, going over to OMG on the bottom side. You might think it's JDG, OMG. What exactly are we even watching this game for? JDG 0-2 in this group. If they lose here tonight, they will be unable to make top 8, and we'll have a single last match against BLG in a few days' time. But if they win this, they'll at least be able to control their fate for now. Oh, that's the Blade Caller and the public execution. Junja gets engaged upon, but the Crescent Guard's going to save him for now. Xiaoshu flashes forward. Ruthless Predator almost stays alive. All of that rage, all of that fury. Gets him only a kill onto Starry. And it'll be a trade for the top and 80 carries of both teams, respectively. Haichao trying to fire back with some spell fluxes and overloads. Gala, one more arrow. More arrows to fly. Junja is right now sapping all of his HP from his jungle camps right now. Moham on the bottom side of the map. And it is a small win here for JDG. Grabbing the mid-tier 1. And maybe even starting to make their way over to this Otacon.
It's a small win for now, but they can maybe just turn it into
oh
a
my
big
God,
one.
Hongq.
Ambessa predicts the flash. Is Hongq just chopped here? It appears so, but that's going to be a Hongq for Otacon trade as far as I can tell. And as JDG, I'm pretty sure you're happy about that. You know, it looked like Junja did kind of grief there with the way that he had his usage of the Rift Herald. He was like indecisive. Should he down hit? But that does get answered by the Blade Caller into the Ambessa ultimate, but he just doesn't go down nearly on time.
Sorry, I'm watching Gala almost get solo killed by Harry
Picture.
Here.
He's
Continue.
running for his life up there, man. But anyhow, Renekton is just able to go straight into that backline, and just by so much time, that champ is just really good this game. But OMG is definitely in a pretty good spot here. Look, we've got a level 16 Rise Lock. I don't know about you, but level 16 on Rise is a huge spike, man, because those EQs start critically striking for 700 damage plus, man. So Haichao has everything he needs to carry this game, as does Harry. Let's hope he gets out if we're an OMG fan right now.
Oh, whoa, okay. All right, public execution ends up not mattering. Still is able to survive. They get the dragon there for OMG, and Otacon only gave JDG 10 petals. That's barely enough to crack a level at this point. Very, very small amount. Oh, that is the headbutt from Vampire trying to isolate Moham. It'll get him there, and it will take away Juhan's flash. But this wall from Onivia! It's preventing
Just like you mentioned, you want to keep in mind, Hongq is getting caught out here by Juhan, however.
Oh, didn't need to use the flash this time. It is going to be Moham caught and exploded. Or sorry, that's Juhan completely gone from this fight. Moham and Sara trying to lay down the feathers. Haichao will reposition himself to join the rest of his team, but that allows for Vampire to get a headbutt and get his flash away from this fight. Junja trying to find something, flashes forward, 3-talon strike, destroys Starry. Harry is next, Baron is afterwards, and OMG completely lose the fight.
Yeah, and before I can even say more, JDG just out of the blue takes 4 names off the board. That's 4 gray screens for the side of OMG, and this is very, very ugly. You don't like to see that as the OMG fan here. It would be a big consolation prize if Haichao can get away with this Dragon Heist right now. That does actually keep them with some pretty realistic chances in this game. That's going to put them on sole point, assuming he gets away with this. And, of course, that was a very, very good play for JDG, but respect to Haichao. He does give his team a bit of a win condition here, so let's see if Honkyu can sniff him out. And looks like, yeah, he's not long for this world, man.
I mean, he has his teammates come in. Moham's... No, never mind. All right. You know what, fools? I'll trust in the fact that you're a challenger player. Sometimes appeal to authority is actually just the correct appeal. Moham also goes down. You can see it in the player cams. Haichao maybe a little frustrated with the game state. Starry's dead too. Okay, everything's going to hell in a handbasket at this point.
Isn't it?
Yeah, that's just the Baron just completely owning the rest of this game, and that's probably just it. JDG will find themselves with a 2-0. They will keep their hopes alive of making top 8 here at Demacia Cup 2025. It is only Harry and Juhan left. One minion wave left in mid lane. Might get a little bit of a stall here, but I don't think much has happened at this point. Juhan's going to try and stack the wave. That's it.
Yeah, and just out of the blue, it just seems that JDG is going to take this game. We're going to see one last fight at the Nexus here. Gala flashing out, pierces him through the heart. That Trundle pick not quite getting where we needed it to. It looked like Haichao might have had something there, but JDG had it all. They had the series. That's going to be the first win.
Great mid to late game. He can open this early game wide up with the Leona. This is definitely a superior 2v2, at least combat-wise, but I do
So
have...
he's going to smite away the blue buff for help, but Wei gets a full combo down. There's no root coming across from Hong on those Tangle Barbs. Tries to flash away from Wei. Tongguan is going to guard his jungler. Renardo is going to flash. Shove Hong the wrong way. Actually lets the Zyra out. Now YCX re-engages. There's no flash on this Talia. And Renard gets packed out for the first kill.
Photic?
Somehow Photic has come back from over top. I don't know how Photic gets there, but he gets himself the kill onto Hong. They re-engage onto YCX. And now Invictus Gaming have the numbers to funnel all their gold into Photic. Good flash away from the Yone Q as Shaya shows up to the party, but he is too late. Everybody has bailed out. Can't even find the trade kill onto Wei. And that is a...
pick up the kill onto Xiaoya. So if you didn't have that rel, you likely couldn't have gone for the extended trade. Misfortune wouldn't have had as much gold. It's a super stellar start here for IG, and they're looking for more.
Renard has Weaver's Wall, going to source out Hong, who is 2 levels down, and this time we're flicking back towards our team. Renard finding a good pick with that ultimate, and
they're going to get so much more pressure in those lanes and pull a lot more LGD members at the same time.
Oh, here we go. Unstoppable Onslaught coming through for Sobro. Looking here for Hong, who has just been the target all game long. He flashes, but the flick back still comes through for Zhui. Tries to drop the Zyra ultimate, but Photic is going to grab himself a 4th kill. Thanks in Bellar.
This bot side and start up this objective.
Very big to get YCX, his Solar Flare. He just ticks over to level 6. Hong is going to proc the Dragon, but Wei was waiting in the wings. Flash Magnet Storm, immediate engage on top of Hong, and you don't need a Cyclone when you got the setup like that to get the kill over for Wei. Weaver's Wall comes down across, all out, is going to come through for Sasa, and he will trade 1-for-1. Wei goes down, and Unstoppable Onslaught onto the back line. Good Blast Cone to get Xiaoya out, and now Sobro is stuck up Creek with no paddle, but he's got more than enough health, and it's going to be the Fate-sealed whiff coming out here for Tongguan. Dragon secured. There's the bullet time over top. Photic can't find the kills, but Wei's going to try and chase them down. Sasa flashes over the wall. Xiaoya's going to eat a slow and eat a stick to the face. Wei picks up another one on top of the Dragon, and IG are great start up against LNG either. And they just get completely, and they're coming out swinging. Xiaoya, though, does get a lot of damage down back onto Photic. It's the re-engage from Wei. Full crash down Magstorm combination onto YCX. Wei comes in, and they got more than enough damage thanks to Photic's accelerated kit there. Good little look from LG. We expect their synergy to be pretty good. It's been pretty good. It was their damage dealers having the ability to outplay LGDs. And so far, they've had the leads to do so. And it's Hu again. Shui looking for the play. He eats 2 ultimates to the face and gets the Magnet Storm off before he dies. Hung is going to find that kill. And it's just good old-fashioned support sacrifice there, but it's IG that still have control of the pit.
Yep, and now they're going to be looking for more.
Hong, he is caught over the wall on a ward, and Wei is not going to let him get away with that. Fate Sealed is going to whiff as well from Tongguan, still looking to trade it away. Maybe he can get the pullback for the damage. No, can't even find that trade. Renard going to let him walk back towards the turret. Seismic Shove not going to land. Tongguan, though, needs to dodge these stones. And he even has
here for 2026 because he no longer has that org he was a part of in 2025 to give him that name. And for Wei, I mean, you are the only remaining member from this year. You've got the most experience. You've been at the highest heights compared to your teammates. So you have to bring that experience along in order to take some of these younger players to higher heights. As Tongguan just has to ult away. IG are completely in their face.
Shui was dismounted on Rel and was still clicking forward. Some things never change, Shui, and love to see it, even like you mentioned, on that new banner. Hui just so on point with the timings on these objectives. We've seen that even with that IG super team from last split. Picks up the dragon. They grab themselves a bot tier 1 turret. Immediately into the Rift Herald play for this mid lane tier 1 turret. It's no kills coming off the board, but it's just as massive as almost wiping a fight these last couple plays from Invictus Gaming.
And we talk about the importance of LGD needing to, gain dragon controls. They're not even able to kill the Herald before it recharges.
Oh, there we go, Renard. Oh, oops it up to Photic with the slam down on the bullet time. Eviscerates YCX's health bar. Sasa is luckily tanky enough to survive the onslaught off to the top side of this fight. But it's the tier 2 turret going down in this ward. He's going to have to fight for that vision again. And Wei, you see Song going up to the top of that river. He's like, there's no way LGD can fight. They knew Sasa had to take a reset after getting chunked.
Teleports.
And LGD are going to have to just give away this Otacon. They may even give away even more. The bullet time from Photic is going to whiff. Just a zoning ult gives away enough time to luckily get this Otacon down and secured. But they lose some ultimates for it until Shui, oh my god, flash crash down Magnet Storm, gobbles up 3 just like that. And the Weaver's Wall from Renard means nobody else can escape, and Photic can start cleaning up some of these kills. What an engage from Shui, showing off exactly what he was doing on FPX last year.
I love this from Shui. Him and Wei have been starting up every single fight, opening the door for Photic and Renard to just rip LGD asunder in these fights. Otacon secured as to fill the shoes of. And obviously 2 games, 2 series, in fact, after tonight is not enough of a sample size to answer the question of did they fill those shoes, but we do want to see the seeds planted for them to be capable of having a good season and of making the IG banner proud.
Definitely a team that, for this Demacia Cup, as we keep the range kind of short-sighted, I, along with a lot of people, did not expect great things for IG in this group, even if it is the group of life, and is bearing plentiful fruit in this one. As we take stock of the game once more, gold aplenty, turrets getting knocked down. It's really feeling like a Baron waiting room at this point, Quacks. We're about a minute out from the Purple Worm.
And realistically, there's a Baron there. We should probably go take that. Wei will be like, oh, yeah.
All right. Shui's just going to shrug off a Solar Flare. Yep, that's easy enough. Here comes the Weaver's Wall down. Oh, catch found for Hui onto Xiaoya. Gonna dash over the wall. Fate Unsealed is gonna hit the clone. Wei is caught here though. Sorbo's gonna TP in late. Jungler down for Invictus Gaming. Can they find any of these straights? Sorbo's gonna do it all on his own here. Hong's gonna get the redemption heal to save him just in time. And Sorbo's gonna go down next. Xiaoya picks up that kill. Tank v Tank gonna be traded out. Here's Photic is gonna shut down the Mad Lad Cassante. But Baron has been completely dashed for both of these teams. Tongguan looking for more here with the Soul Unbound form. Going to get the knockup onto Shui. But there's not enough damage behind that decelerated knockup held. Trying to see if they can get on top of Photic. The thing to remember is they may be down a lot of gold LGD, but there's still a ton of ways in their kit to cancel out that bullet time.
Not to mention, this is the Baron that is probably easiest to steal. I mean, you just go around one of these sections on the left and, you can go for that 50-50 as Shui.
Defensive crash down to get himself out. Bullet time, though, canceled. Just like we called out. The solar flare means the Photic cannot find any of these kills. Redemption's going to top Hong back off at about 50%.
Oh!
You have the right team. All right. Who cares? We're going back into game. Sasa dies. The pause can't save you. The Baron will be secured by Hui. Renard is going to cut off Xiao. He has to flash over the Weaver's wall. But Sobero gets on the back line. Gets a two-man slow knock-up combo with Hui. And boy, things may have looked murky earlier in this part of the jungle for IG, but they settle their debts and get the Baron in 4.
And now Xiaoya has to run for the hills, run for the towers, and Sobero isn't going to go too far in chasing him. He's just going to scare him off. IG, immediately after the pause, they practically clean house. Only one LGD member alive, and this should net them at least an inhibitor, but the death timers are still pretty long. I think they're just going to go for the end here, Slayer.
Why not, especially when Shui grabs one more for the road, catches out Xiaoya, and seals in the first game win for Invictus Gaming of Demacia Cup.
And there is no question on picks like the Udyr. Now, though, we have to see him on the Ambessa take charge with that pick. Because, yeah, that is a really fun 5th pick to come out here for YCX.
LPL fashion, we could fight over a first Scuttle Crab because there are a whole lot of bodies up towards this top side. Hui's going to flash right on top into the immediate charm from Renard. That is beautiful synergy. Unfortunately, it's flat damage as they do get out on that one. Auto attack trade. Photic, one more auto. No! Xiaoya's lethal tempo wins out as the marksmen go blow for blow. A lot of blinking health bars. Hui trying to role play as his fallen AD carry. Renard going to force a flash out of YCX. Root Prism is going to get the snare, but there's the Tangle Barb. Hui gets the first kill. Hong goes all out with a spear. Does not find its mark on his Hui, and Hui's going to turn it around for a double. Just waiting on those spells to come right back up, and he claims the feat of warfare all on his own. We talked about in game 1, Quacks, you pointed out so aptly. Gotta feel nice when you back at 5 minutes as an AD carry. You get a BF sword on your return. I'll do you one better. You know what? We cover my role, Quacks, with AD carry.
Of course.
Talk to me as the jungler when it's
the
never mind. You'll get 8 time. Yeah, Tunneler OP. Also, Yunara slamming autos into you. Pretty OP as well. Photic just a big chunk. Nonetheless, it's really going to, like you mentioned, spell the slowdown of the one lane that was kind of winning in the AD carry department. Still, LGD confident that they can take First Dragon. They did get First Dragon in our opening bout off the back of a pretty good play there. And, wow, they're going to root up and just lock up Shui. No way to operate. Great handshake into that Rune Prism. Both of our teams early on showed some pretty good CC chaining, and now we got a Realm Warp. Hello, ganked in your own lane, Photic. No chance to survive and immediately point out there. Oh, Shui. Ooh, that is a mistiming dash. Sasu is going to use the grand public execution and the flash, but Renard chases him down with a well-timed charm, and it may not have been as easy as they thought it would be, but it's still a successful pick-off. Tangguan, I wonder if he's going to try and Realm Warp in here to cover turret. Nope. Maybe?
Just waiting for YCX. They might be trying to look for a play, but they're not going to be getting anything. In fact, IG are so confident that they are going to stay around, and maybe it'll lead to their deaths.
All right, Pop Blossom is available.
Hui is in the area. He's ult.
And there he goes. Turns around, hits it on the 2. He's trying to kite back for Photic. Grand Starfall Hui, and hello, IG. They turn the numbers advantage just like that. 1 TP and 1 global ultimate. Hell, they brought the whole damn squad up here. 5 members, but it's a win again for IG. They are all over the map in game 2.
And LGD, they brought 4 members to deal with Photic on the bot side. IG said, we can't be one-upped in that department. All 5 of them toward the top side. They get the job done, and they punish LGD for daring to look onto their bot lane. A beautiful turnaround and reaction from Hui and Renard. And LGD right back
they're not done.
into the passenger seat as IG are just driving this game home.
No flash, no ult, no hope, just a gray screen. Sasa's going to go down. The ingenuity on some of these pick plays really shining for IG.
And Hong is in the top side, but I don't think the Xin Zhao is going to be able to prevent this top tower from going down. So Saburo going to get a lot of gold off of this turret on the Jax. And
kind of afford to stall somewhat. And as I say that, Quacks, I forget it's the LPL. And They have to keep the dragon stacking going, even if it may throw their game away right here. Or Hui's going to respect it and see that there is no members nearby. So LGD, a little bit of a sneaky win con manifesting right now.
Difficult for LGD to step in. I think IG definitely their next target going to be resting on this Herald, trying to break open his hold on Grand Starfall.
Here comes a bright light, known as Pantheon, flying on down. But on top side, we also have another man advantage coming across here. LGD making a 1v1, a 1v3, and Sorboro is caught lacking in the side lane. So LGD starting to really fight back across the map here with their own global ultimates.
Yep. They get themselves another kill, but IG very smartly, in my opinion, looking for as many cross-map plays.
He's a lot stronger than Hong, and he is not even going to get the portal out. He has to flash Crescent Guard over the wall, just keep himself safe. And Jue, you always know, is looking for a fight, and he's going to immediately flash on top of Xiaoya, force both the summoners out of the Varus. Hostile Takeover is going to provide a bit of leeway, as Hong does get the kill onto Jue. They have to deal with the top laner, though. Sasa trying to knock down their jungler. And Photic, Transcended, does find that trade kill, but it's as murky of a fight as you'd like if you're LGD.
They have that advantage in the summoner department. I'm glad that you mentioned that, but now they have just the advantage in the objective department. Herald is here, and IG have temporary, at least, control over the mid lane, which means LGD are going to have to respond to try and clear out this wave, clear out this Herald, so it doesn't completely wreck more than their tier 1. They're even going to try and stop it from charging, but I don't know if that's possible.
Nope. No way to stop Shelly. Turret goes down. They're going to look for a pick on Away instead. Oh, public execution. Whiffs wide right there from Sasa. Photic is transcended, and he wants to get all the auto attacks down. Togwan, though, is going to drop the hammer onto Renard. First kill picked up for LGD. Xiaoya with the bailout will not come back from life. Photic gets that kill. Hostile takeover, not going to find its mark. Photic sneaks out with about 1 HP bar left. His way throws down in the 1 versus 2. They finally chase down Jue to get 1 kill. Hong finds back, and with the point of the spear, gets himself a double. But keep in mind that whole time, IG were fighting a man down.
Yeah, just jacks things casually. Saboro manages to get that tier 2, and now he's full HP. He's got all the resources, minus that flash, to be able to stall out this dragon. He's going to have to do so for 20-ish seconds, as that's when Wei does come back, and that ultimate, combined with the Hex Gates, means that he will arrive pretty quickly after he respawns.
Sneaky Soboro. Out of vision. Photic's going to walk in first, but there he is. He's going to pounce on top of YCX. Hex Gates are going to bring Renard in as well. They're going to get rid of the Renata. No bailout to come across. Soboro even knocks down Hong
no way.
and gets himself out like a true Giga Chad. Sasu's going to try and chase him down. The Counter-Strike stun lands. Sorbo will finally go down, but he's bought time. 4-way to ride on in behind a star and a bunch of fire to set LGD ablaze. They don't even get the dragon, and they might even lose a couple more members here as Wei does spot out Sasa and Xiaoya trying to get back out. And they don't have a tier 2 turret to lean on, by the way, thanks to Sorboro. So Jue is going the long way around. And guess what ability he has up just in time? Pop Blossom, Pop Go the Weasels, known as Xiaoya and Sasa. No one to stop them as Photic runs them down.
IG are just tearing up LGD.
LCK Challengers Jax has come as advertised today.
And I love it. This is a player who is super young, super inexperienced, and very green, as Hong is about to turn all shades of black and blue. He just goes down Slayer without any possible way to fight back.
Yeah, Jue doing Jue things again. Spots him out in that further topside brush and creates another kill for his team. 15 of the 19 kills secured for Invictus Gaming have Jue's name enriched on the score sheet.
Yeah, Jue has been doing such a fantastic job over the course of this series, finding those engages. Now, Tong Yuan is just no way to get out. He's going to flash, and that will actually keep him alive. I thought IG might chase for more, as Renard just casually solo killing Xiaoya off camera.
You know, you talked about it. He didn't get it done in that first fight. We saw the replay of, so he had to single out Xiaoya.
Revenge.
We're not even close to Baron spawning, and it's still the base of LGD collapsing. Photic, all right, you know what, Photic? I gave away one in game 1. We're going to give you that one, little bro, but you play well in Demacia Cup. It could get you a job come LPL 2026, and it's good to see that our solo lanes, even if they are sort of stand-ins for IG, are doing so well in this matchup against LGD. As they knocked down another tier 2 turret, and they are just playing wait for them.
2025. This definitely does mount the pressure a little bit. Now going 1 and 2, you just want to rack up as many wins as possible to increase your individual stonks.
Boy, you got to be a bit excited if you're a rookie thinking about playing alongside, well, you know, get back with Hwei. Definitely going to be in this game. Quacks.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look at the just wall of vision that they have set up over this area. LGD, that Hex Gate is like the biggest trap I've ever seen. If you take that Hex Gate, prepare to get spawn camped. Literally, as there's just no real way for them to enter into that part of the map. IG should have no trouble taking the Baron on spawn, or at the very least just taking the Baron at their own leisure. And from there, I mean, you can use Renard with his teleport, Wei with his ultimate to really thin out LGD and start closing your hand around this game's throat.
All right. I
No one
don't
took
know
that
what that
ultimate.
Realm Warp was, but it goes down. Immediate Charm on the TP. Does Sasa get to move? Yeah, he gets to flash away. Then with his public execution, Foden picks up that kill. Wei gets a huge pop blossom on the backside. Zorbro's trying to operate, but guess who gets to step up? The Gatling gun that is Fotic, and he just melts down all of LGD. No Baron, no problem. No series wins yet, no problem. IG make a statement in Group A, and we're going to 2-0 in quick fashion, LGD.
I put that statement on Braille for the blind, bolden it, underline it, highlight it. IG came to this series ready to play, and LGD were just in their way. A clean 2-0 from the squad. Really solid stuff from them. Massive hat up to guarantee some of the damage on the squishier members of BLG, which will get progressively harder as squishy members on BLG will be limited to
It definitely
basically
feels like he's a much more pro skirmish jungler. When he becomes light, he's going to connect on the big Krug. He's going to smite it away, get to level 4, and he's looking to throw it down with Krako here. Full cast of spells from the Malphite, but I don't know. The sustain of this Xin Zhao, very worrying. Can either top it or get over here in time? Krako might have to kill the knockup. One more auto. Shun flashes away, finds first blood. And now it's Sheer's turn to chase him down. Does have flash, but on his nearby, he's going to flash and still deliver a dreaded return. And Sheer will find
these minions without sacrificing health to do so.
On is down ultimate, but still wants to scrap. There's the charm coming across. Viper goes transcendent, dashing after 1xn. He drops the Felios ultimate in, but Viper finds his first kill of his LPL campaign. 1xn cannot and will not find that trade. It's Viper on the board, finally for BLG, and Shun's like, hold on, feats of warfare, can't chase down Missing, who will escape to tell the tale.
The first kill of hopefully many Slayer. Viper also going to collect a plate as Missing.
Missing.
You are under the tower, but with no HP.
Why flash? Why flash? I feel like he's just dead there. Gives over the flash and the feat of warfare.
I guess the silver lining for LNG on the other side, you can see that Krako is onto the dragon, so you will have the credit for both early game
really high-level play coming out of that. We love Krako's discipline, even if he does go all out for Shun. Just nobody able to push those health bars over, and it's to BLG's gain, because that whole early objective control conversation we're having for LNG is
the sun on the side lane, so it'll be actually 2 turrets for BLG. They will really open up the map on this top side, and that'll play into them being able to control
item-wise. It's not going to really show in this Octagon fight, and that makes for the most fun because it's just about execution and maybe a little bit of luck. BLG gonna force the issue. Octagon started up here by Shun, and Viper helping off to the side. They TP Bin in. Bulldog has joined the fray as well. YXL is coming in for a flank with Bin. They do not have Sheer. There is no teleport on this Zahen, so BLG have all of the ground to play with.
They
and
got
they're just gonna
Krako!
pick off Krako. What a Shuriman shuffle from YXL to pick up that one. The Redemption's gonna save him from the Mega Inferno Bomb, but not from the Moonlight Vigil. Gil picked up for 1xn, but they get the Octagon, and now they can unleash Viper and Shun. They're going to chase down Missing. Shun not going to be able to find the end of the spear onto that kill. Sheer trying to go all out with the Zahen, but is going to force the top of onslaught out of Bin. With a couple of these snap plays on the Azir, and may have more space to cook now that he's got that Seeker's Arm Guard. And we have another fight brewing. Third Drake of the game here. And it's LNG with the inside track. Bin has been playing security guard at the hottest nightclub you know right now, with how he's been able to zone some of these teams. But On's trying to break down the door, and they found the perfect pick onto Bulldog, who they took his flash off of him earlier on, cashing in on that investment, and LNG have no way to contest further around this Drake pit now.
I love how BLG keep forcing on that issue. Bulldog is such a clear target for them to go for, and they just rush him before he has any time to react. I think the go button as well for BLG to start out that chase was 1xN having to catch into LDR. It's like, all right, I'll use this to deal with squishies and assassinate them. But then I'll also get this to deal with the tanks. What are they going to do now?
I got something sure about
Unless LNG just decide to YOLO it and start the Baron anyway.
Start it. They've got it almost done
really
here for
low.
1xN. Kiting out on pretty well. Moonlight Vigil is going to go wide, though. Missy gets the charm. The Baron does
Viper's
reset.
not here.
And YXL has the pick onto Sheer. Bin gets the kill onto Missing. Viper finally showing up, but they got all the heavy lifting done without Viper because it's just Bin and his giant health bar causing a huge conundrum for LNG. Giga Bin might be back, at least by Demacia Cup standards. 4 kills. Exhibit A. Surely top laners aren't arguably more buff than 80 carries for next split, right?
It's the mid laners, in my opinion. I actually think mid lane is the most buffed in Season 16. Those empowered boots are no joke.
Wow, that's not a popular opinion there, Quack. So we'll have time to discuss it a bit later. Let's take in, well, a defensive Grim Deliverance from Sheer. That's never good. And the BLG Baron power play stacking up more gold than you can count.
Yeah, now BLG are looking to sunset this game. They've got a pretty significant gold lead at this point. All of their champions are accelerated. They've got the Baron and plenty of tanky members to be able to withstand the damage the turret puts out as Krako and Shun are just having a bit of a dance party here. Let's see if On decides to join in. Come on,
Somebody
On.
orbital cannon that. Yes! Oh, I did hit On. All right. Krako, I was like, he broke up the BM. He has to die, but BLG are too far ahead. It's been running right at. How does he hit 1xN again? He hits 1xN again, bro. And there goes the game, exploding around the giant scion that is Giga Bin. We talked all about Shun coming back in, Viper's debut for BLG, but your Game 1 MVP for Billy Gaming is going to be that giant tank of a man known as Bin on the top side. And here comes the final march. Bulldog doesn't even have mana near his own Nexus. It's time to wipe down the last 2 members of LNG. Down goes Sheer, down goes Bulldog, and down goes. Synergized really well with a bullet time. Wonder if he wants to trade that early skirmishing because he knows, hey, listen, who are the best 2 targets for a Cataclysm? It's like,
right.
Bulldog's a really good.
Within kill threat, you can, at least for the one time, afford to lose some HP because you have teleport to just get back to the lane. Teleport is a super valuable summoner spell, or Flash is a super valuable, rather, summoner spell for a champion like Syndra who has no innate mobility and minus the scatter the weak doesn't have any peel. So, yeah, just, I think Bulldog make these, potentially 1 team fights by LNG even worse for BLG is On.
All right, back to On antics early on here. Oh, the Flash doesn't even get away from the Tempered Fate. I don't think Viper can save him. Beautiful stun from Missing into the Scatter of the Weak. All the Syndra damage comes across. Takes a long while to end up killing off Missing, and now Viper surrounded 1 versus 4, stunned up against the wall. Missing getting it done on this Bard.
I think that kind of is a good way to illustrate BLG right now. This Trundle really is that early game bridge. They still can build on it, though. LNG, like we said, just have a little bit more power indexed into them, and now I like this dive coming through.
Yeah, this is not a tank of Cassante, and they don't even need to go for the dive. They're trying to burn down the turret, and they'll get it. Temper Favor this time Missing, not going to land it. Immediately gets crashed back down on Krako nearby, though. Flick back lands on the Missing, and they pick up the kill. Krako goes in, trades support for support, and now with the Cyclone wants to go after YXL. Shun trying to play bodyguard, but the alcove is not helping them. They got to slam back through. A seismic shot from the grave comes out from YXL. Does Shun have enough damage? No. Public execution going to hit, but not on the Krako. Bin flashes after him and eviscerates him down as Sheer joins the party as well. 2v2 cooking here, but Bin has too many dashes for that pesky. I'm already going against my anti-Viper fanboy propaganda. 1xN is not afraid of anybody. He is arcane shifting at Viper. That is a man playing with no fear. And you do love to see it up against, like you mentioned, one of the kings of the marksman class. Missing might get caught here again. It's another flick back from YXL. It's going to set him up for a kill. The Scatter of the Weak from Bulldog. Too little, too late. Pillar onto Bulldog as well. Shun going to run it down. Scatter doesn't land the stun onto Shun, but it pushes YXL away. And with Krako guarding, the rest of the play fizzles out.
And now, I mean, there's so much standing gold onto the map. BLG are going to turn tail onto this Dragon, get their second of the game. But the Herald is also available as 1XN just arcane shifts forward. Now YXL, though, he's actually not going to commit to the kill. But like you said,
spawning on that top side. LNG are going to make the first chess move here. It's a bullet time, traded for a tempered fate. And that's a ult economy trade you love if you're LNG, not only because they get the tier 1 turret down, but now that bullet time's not available if you rush Otacon here.
And most importantly, BLG had to, kind of play maintenance around that mid wave, which means LNG can take control of this Otacon, and they're not even willing to let that seep in. They're just going straight for the objective. Bin is actually sectioned off from this fight, so it's very difficult for Ambessa to link up with his team.
All right, BLG know the Otacon is nearly taken down. About 5k HP. On is trying to lead the charge through here with Viper. They're going to TP in Sheer and finally bring Bin over. 5v5, battle lines drawn. Stun gonna land onto On. They're gonna try and burn down the Rel, but it's actually Sheer going into the backline. They're going after Viper without the flash. The all-out is gonna pull Viper under the LNG turret. Re-engage though for Bin. Poly execution. He's going after 1XN on the backside. Great Weaver's Wall. Pins 1XN between a rock and a hard place. And can Shun win the smite fight? Yes, he can. Otacon secured for BLG. And it's Bulldog that's now gonna try and do the heavy lifting, but the dashes are too much to deal with. Gigabin is back and ripping, roaring, and ready to go in another game here. Ace to Billy Gaming.
BLG!
Areas going forward in these next couple minutes where they will force LNG to answer their big item spikes. It's Baron in 2.5 minutes, but quietly as well, Hextech Soul is on the board now. While we were watching the replay, BLG got onto that point, and they're looking for a pick on the missing. It's Bin again. He's just so locked into this Demacia Cup so far. Not an easy ult to land. Makes it look easy. Missing down.
I mean, Bin playing like he has something to prove. A lot of people after Worlds 2025 were a little bit concerned with his form, asking questions about what we would be seeing from him in regards to 2026. And it seems like he is answering those questions, not with words, but with a Drake Hound to the face, and the LNG face is getting scarred because of it.
Denying the real only burst champion that LNG have as a threat kind of feels like a home run pick.
I actually do like the Spirit Visage. I think that you obviously...
Yeah, I could be a 3 items deal with a Hextech Drake on his own. It all starts with mid lane prio. That pain point of the tier 1 turret up for LNG is no more. And BLG have made it clear that they want not just the Hextech Drake, but I really think by them starting this up like this, they want to fight. And they're walking LNG in. TP right on time for Bin. LNG need to keep this game alive, or BLG call quits to our series. This fight really could dictate it. Pillar going to force the Trickster out of Croco. YXL and On are both looking for a flank here. They're kind of entrapping LNG. Bulldog taking a ton of poke. Missing is already far too low. The exhaust will not save him. Viper takes him down. Sheer goes all in, but he is all alone. No further follow-up, and Bin says, your back line is mine. Poly execution in. Tries to chase down Bulldog. Flashes right after him. 1XN doesn't have the damage to deal with Gigabin, and now his one exit has been cut off by a giant Weaver's Wall. A clean as an ace as you can get. BLG back at it, knocking down LNG. It looks like they're going to sweep our series.
And it's BLG at the start of the fight, closing their jaws around the heads of LNG, and they bite them off. Bin with the public execution, allowed to wreak havoc on the backline. And let there be no doubt, let there be no question that BLG came here to play for the next season, and they will be a team you must keep your eyes on.
Talked about, oh, do they trade Hextech Soul and Baron? Overloading the top side is very intriguing, but the main win of that last fight shows up in the items. Rallies is now done for YXL. That's annoying to deal with those slows. LDR done for Viper. Anyone that steps in front of him can get it. Now got Shun as well, super tanky. Bin has a QSS to continue to reset these dashes. It is going to take a mistake from BLG to open this series back up for LNG.
It is, and LNG You know, they have to find some moment to pull the trigger. They have to find some way to capitalize on this mistake that you're talking about. But BLG, you could see how reserved they're playing, how cautiously they are taking this game. They're not giving LNG an inch to look for any kind of aggressive movements. And all the while, they are slowly closing their grip around this game, around this series.
All missing. Another seismic shove. Able to get a double stun over from his mid laner, so he's safe. But the siege is still coming. Bullet time out from Viper. Not going to find too many marks. Holy excuse me, the bin is going 1 versus 5 in, and he likes those odds. He's somehow surviving and thriving even further, and the rest of BLG come right
There's no
with
way, bro.
their top laner. Big Bad Bin once again calls game, and hopefully this time they give him his goddamn player of the game, because he's player of the series in our minds here.
Yeah, weakest Ambessa, by the way, as BLG just demolish LNG here in game number 2. They leave no doubt to people.